Welcome to vlog 3. We're doing the thing and we're getting our vlogs done recording. So today is a Friday and the things I'm working on are, well, first I'm going to clean up the kitchen, right? Because we don't want to work in a dirty kitchen. I'm testing out some flavors. So this is called Quince. Have you guys ever heard of this? I have a Greek customer who's also a friend that visits me at the farmers markets in Philly, and one day she brought this to me and was telling me some very interesting things. So I'll get into the details of this soon, but what we're doing is we're going to cook this up in 2 different ways to test out some flavors for next year. The quince season is already over. It's a short season, but this is the original apple. I even heard it's the apple that Eve ate from. So we're going to test this out. I'm also testing out a pear and cranberry flavor for this season, Thanksgiving season. We usually do what we call pineapple twist, which was pineapple and cranberry, which was really good. But at the markets, we try and use more local, so we're trying to shift that. So if we can come up with a good pear one, that would be great. What else? Oh, so while those things are cooking, I'm going to give you guys some information on tips of how to get into farmers markets. This is very impromptu. I didn't take any notes. I probably should. So bear with me as I'm still learning how to do the vlog and blah, blah, blah. So first, give me 10 minutes. I'm going to clean up the kitchen and then we'll start on our quince. I'm sure me cleaning up the kitchen is not that riveting, so let's just skip this part. I set the timer, spent about 15 minutes cleaning up the kitchen, cleaning off the stove a little bit, wiping down the counters, using this disinfectant spray. I realized I hadn't turned the camera on when I went to show you my recipe for my all-purpose cleaner. I've been using this for years, probably like 8 years, 9 years. It's 5 drops of essential oil that I usually don't use, 2 teaspoons of Dawn, half a cup rubbing alcohol, and then I fill the rest with water. Works great. The alcohol helps disinfect. And then I'm not buying a bunch of products. So let me get my quince. Quince, I was told, she sent me a link, I haven't looked it up yet, but if I find anything very interesting, I'll put it on the screen. Quince is supposed to be the original apple. This is the apple that was in the Garden of Eden. This is also the apple that started the Trojan War. I don't remember all the details that my Greek friend shared with me, but it's an interesting fruit. It's high in pectin, so when you're canning things, you want pectin. I don't remember why. I'm sure some of you guys know why. But it makes it a good canning food, or for jams, preserves. Then she brought me some rose geranium, and she said that is the way to do it. I had looked up some recipes on ChatGPT for cooking the quince. One was with lemon, another one was with vanilla and cinnamon. She said rose geranium's the way to go, so she brought me some. How sweet. So we're going to do 2. We're going to do lemon and quince, and then we're going to do the rose geranium with quince and a little bit of lemon. One thing I want to show you guys too. Another thing I'm working on is SCOBY jerky. This has been around for a long time. Let me do the little, what do you think about that? Oh my gosh, look at how amazing that is. So amazing. It's actually pretty good. I'm not going to eat it on camera for you guys. I'll spare you that. So the next time I make a batch, I will absolutely share it with you. I'm going to test some. I have 2 bowls. Obviously not going to share the one I just touched all over. But I have 2 bowls. We're going to cut some up and share some with our customers at the farmers markets tomorrow, Saturday, and see what they think. And I'm excited because it's something I can offer my farmers market customers. I can also offer to my wholesale customers. There's a vegan restaurant we sell to here in our town. I shared some with them yesterday, but also to my viewers online. So we'll have the SCOBY jerky. We're thinking about selling SCOBY with a lifetime warranty. And what's the other thing? My soaps. I introduced you to my soaps in the first vlog. Before this ends, I'll show you the ones that I have and the new ones I just got for Christmas. So exciting. But, that way I figure people are buying from someone that they trust. If you're here, I'm assuming that somehow entertaining or you trust me, to help you on your kombucha journey and just sharing behind the scenes stuff. So enough blabber, let's get to cooking. Let me grab my laptop and we'll get these recipes going. And this is like 2 weeks old, so I probably should have did it earlier, but it's been a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. I'm learning to make sourdough. I just made my first one last night. Must have been good because this is all that's left. The smell is like between a pear, apple, and to me an orange. But I was told it's very astringent. So it's not something that you would want to eat raw like an apple, a regular apple. So I'm curious, have you guys ever heard of this? Because I'm in my 40s, I never heard of this. And if you have, do you use it? If you use it, what do you make? Please share. I love when we get discussions going in the comments. It's so fun to see what other people do, where they're from, what their experiences are, especially with things like food and cooking. Okay, we're all peeled up. Let's chop this bad boy up. Now, if I was in my commercial kitchen making this for someone or my customers, I would absolutely have gloves on, but this is just testing it out for me. I wash my hands. I feel fine about this, and it's just for me. I mean, maybe my children will sip some, and I'll probably take some to my friend that gave me this so she can test it out. There's really nothing to see here. I'm just cutting up the quince, so I'll just go ahead and skip forward for you guys. In these two batches, I'm using a half of a quince in each, 3/4 cup of water. In one of them, I'm going to use half of one rose geranium leaf and half a teaspoon of lemon. The other one, I'm just going to omit the rose geranium leaf to see how they turn out. I'm simmering for 20 minutes. I'm going to remove the leaf, which I forgot to do, and then let it cool down. Then I'll add it to the bottles of kombucha. Third, I'm going to also test out pear and cranberry, so let's get that done. I have this is some leftover kombucha from when we moved from the first tank, our first ferment, into the second. My husband likes to bring it home so I can experiment or drink it. That way it doesn't go to waste. So we have some cranberries, if you can see those, and a pear from the farmer's market. I'm not sure what kind. And one of our 16-ounce bottles. When I first had the idea of starting a kombucha business in 2014, never thought I would. I said, if I do, I want bottles that people can reuse, because I reuse kombucha bottles from the grocery stores for years, like 8 years. And so mine are great to reuse. So if you're ever in the area, stop by one of the markets. All right. So my general rule of thumb with the 16-ounce bottle is 1 tablespoon. But since we're mixing flavors, I'm still going to do that. I'm really going to use 2 cranberries. And I'm going to cut them up. Have you ever seen the inside of a cranberry? Make sure you're seeing that. Come on, focus. Isn't that so pretty? I would use about a tablespoon of pear. I usually skin my pear because we have a flavor, ginger kick is ginger with pear. It's a lot of ginger. It's our strongest ginger flavor. And one time I made it and I felt like it was too yeasty from the skin. So we always peel them, skin them, peel them. So husband said, because I said, let's talk about farmers market stuff while we're waiting for the Quince. He said he'll be the cameraman. So he won't be on screen, but he'll be with us. Then we're going to fill the bottle with our ready kombucha. Hopefully you can see this. Cameraman. Can they see it, cameraman? The exciting thing about this flavor is the Christmas soap I mentioned is cranberry pear Bellini. Bellini is some type of alcohol that's bubbly. So I said, let's make a kombucha and match it. There we go. Everyone give it up for the cameraman, my amazing husband. So our tips and suggestions for if you want to get into farmers markets. The first thing you need to do is be set up for business. That means you need to have a product that's good, that people like. You have your labeling, your bottling. Maybe you don't need labels yet, right? But you need all the requirements per your state, what your state requires. You need your license, all that stuff, insurance. That'll be another video. But for farmers markets specifically, what I would suggest, and my husband will chime in, is the first thing is scope out your local markets, right? Go spend some time there, maybe talk to the vendors, and see if you like it. Is it busy? Is there traffic? Strike up conversations with some of the other vendors. Make sure you're buying from them, not just getting information from them. And you'll start to get a feel of what that community is like, because they're all their own little communities. Would you agree?
I agree.
So scope out a couple in your area. Where we're at, we're in a very populated area. There are farmers markets all over the place. Maybe you're in my area. Go scope out your markets, because there's so many markets that want us, we just can't do it. Physically can't do it. We don't have enough people or product. So once you have the market you like, go back and talk to the market manager to see, maybe bring them a sample of your kombucha. That always helps. Because if they drink and they're like, oh, this is great. Yeah, this would really fit in good. We don't have any other drink vendors here, or people have asked me for kombucha. Then they're going to tell you a process. Usually you have an application you need to fill out. You need to have insurance, proof of insurance. What else?
County regulations.
County requirements, the health department. Don't fight with health department people, guys. Just say okay and do what they say. Because they actually want to help people with their businesses. They don't want to shut you down. But if your place is dirty, if you're not following the rules, there's reasons for the rules, right? People can get sick, and that's a major problem. So just do what they say, work with them, be nice. Health department, apply for the markets, and then get contact information so you can follow up. Because some of these markets have so many people coming to them, and they might say, yes, you'd be great here, and then they get bombarded with other stuff. And a lot of people, this is their second job. This is more like a fun side gig. It's not their main thing. What else? Oh, at the farmer's market, know your audience. Don't go in there talking a bunch of smack. Don't go in there complaining even when you're in the market, even if it's a bad day. Don't complain about it, because people walking by, customers can hear that, and that just puts off it's giving you a bad impression. You don't want that. Some farmers markets are cutthroat. They're really cutthroat. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, if they don't want someone in there, they will fight to get you out. We've worked with, there's a lady, I only worked by her once. My husband worked with her, and she was very aggressive in her selling, very aggressive in her bartering. We usually will barter at the end of the day. And then when she wasn't having a good day, she was complaining to the customers about the market. And it just doesn't give you a good look. I don't highly suggest not doing that. Since this is just tips for getting into markets, not setting up your markets, getting all of your equipment, use social media. Quince is done. So how we got into our first market, and I've been discussing markets with friends of mine that were in markets, and that always helps. If you know someone there, that always helps, because it's word of mouth. They're vouching for you. Is use social media. So we went to this event at a local brewery in it's a couple towns over, and we had a great day. I think we sold like 50 bottles, super excited. So I posted something on Instagram. It might have just been my stories, but I used all the local kombucha, local business, and the lady that owns 3 of the markets around here reached out to me. So those hashtags actually work. Those are my suggestions for getting started. I'm at the shop. Coffee kombucha. It's done. It's definitely fermented, but it needs to be sweetened up. And I want to work on the fizz, the effervescence. So I'm gonna pour it into half gallons. Oh, my hand, hold on. When I make coffee kombucha, I pretty much do it the same way I would make regular kombucha. I do a first and second ferment. I used to put in a little bit of vanilla extract, and you could also add in things like cacao nibs. They are a little bitter, but that's if you want to, make some different flavors with it. For this, I'm just adding a little bit more sugar to kind of sweeten it up and give it a little bit more fizz. So this is what we got. I'm going to cap these, and I'm going to leave them for about 3 days. Today's Friday. So I'll probably come check on them on Monday. See how they're tasting, because we do want them a little bit sweet. When I drink my coffee kombucha, which I haven't drank it in a while, I use a little bit of creamer. It makes it so decadent. It's just such a nice drink. Some of my farmers market customers have been asking for it. So there. Okay guys, so the Quince has been sitting for about 3, maybe 4 hours. I just realized I was supposed to take this geranium leaf out once it got done. I didn't, so that'll be interesting to see. And it's a little bit thicker, kind of syrupy. Doesn't really smell too good. So let's bottle that up. I forgot to record the rest about the Quince. So we tried it out, and I really didn't think it was anything special. I gave it to my Greek friend. She was like, meh. So maybe we'll try again next year. But these things happen. The video I'm showing you now is just a TikTok I made. I just didn't have any other footage, and I want to let you sit there and be bored. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.